She says, rather than attempting to own the entire global economy, China's primary strategy seems to be to make other nations highly dependent on Chinese goods and investments. Is that similar to your thoughts, or is that the approach?
Spot on. And we know what he thinks because he introduced this dogma of Shuang Xunhuan, dual circulation. In this system, you render other countries completely dependent on the Chinese market and you make China independent of the outside world. If you look at the trade balances of the Chinese economy with other partners, it is only negative when China has to import commodities that it just doesn't have in its subsoil, and therefore it runs a deficit with those countries, and occasionally with countries which are technologically superior. That's the case, for example, of Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea. China runs a current account deficit with those countries because it needs that technology. Other than that, the import substitution effort has been just massive and multi-layered. And I explain it partly in my book. Part of that is related to the tax system, which is anything in a Marxist economy focusing on production, not on consumption, right? They don't trust consumers. There's too many of them. You cannot control them. So the resources always go to production because it's easier to have the red line and, constrain a director in a mine or a factory than a plethora of consumers. So there's a structural problem there, of course, of overproduction and insufficient consumption. For an economy that's 17% of global GDP, this is everybody's problem, not just ours in America. It's a problem for Brazil, for Turkey, for Thailand, for Africa, for everyone. Then, of course, it's invading with its cheap product other countries, as Alicia says, making them dependent. But that's by design.